Hey, Magic Man here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a game in my Tier 7 Kiev. This is the ship that I was grinding up to in the Ognivoy, and this was actually my second game in the ship. Wasn't too bad. And this is a Tier 8 game, so unfortunately I am going to be under-tiered by one, but it'll give you a good look at the performance of this ship when it's not top tier, which so far of what I've seen of the matchmaking recently, it seems like tier 8 is the tier to play these days, because when I'm playing tier 7 ships I almost always get into a tier 8 match, so it is what it is. But this is domination, and I am going to be playing the objectives. The Kiev is, I don't know, it's almost more like a light cruiser than it is a destroyer. The stock detection range is 9 kilometers. If you put the camo on it, it comes down to 8.7, which is a pretty big detection radius for a destroyer. But it's not too much bigger than the rest of the destroyers at tier 7. It seems like all of the destroyers at tier 7 have some pretty bad detection ratings. I think they're all around in the 7 kilometer range with the exception of the Hatsuharu. I think it can actually get it down into the 6 kilometer range without the concealment expert perk on its captain. Now we do spot a Cleveland, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn into the point and conceal my ship, or at least keep it so that he cannot spot me. And this guy seems very undetermined, or undeterred. He's just charging right in. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire on him since I'm behind this island and he cannot see me. Now, I don't know if he was shooting at me or the guy behind or on the other side of this island, but either way, he's kind of doing a bad job of shooting there. But we do get a fire on him, and he puts it out immediately because my damage counter stopped going up, so that's how I know. And we got the C point captured, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on out of here, or at least move over to B. And that's when I spot Shores back there, so I pop my smoke. I don't want to get too close to him or get spotted. It would really suck, because Shores is a very dangerous ship for me. And man, that Cleveland is still pushing in, although he unfortunately did something very dumb and grounded his ship broadside on to a bunch of different targets. I was trying to get some citadels here, but I guess he was at just enough angle where I couldn't get him, but we're doing some solid AP damage. I'm actually going to do a pretty bad job here of scoring any damage. He's angled just enough that my shells are not really doing anything. And I'm looking around here at all the targets around me, seeing who is the most dangerous to me. And it's really this guy right here. And I unfortunately land some shots into that Bismarck superstructure because he just drove by me, or sailed by me so closely. That's unfortunate. And just taking some shots to that Shores over there since he was fairly stationary. He did get moving, and I actually missed all those shots. I was pretty sad about it at the time, but I guess you can't land all of them. So we've got the C point and the B point, but we are down on the ship count. We've lost one of our destroyers and a cruiser already, which is bad news. But I guess that's probably going to happen when you run around the corner of that island at A. And we unfortunately lose another cruiser. For whatever reason, the guys that spawned over by A, I guess, thought it was a good idea to just kind of charge into that cap point when they don't have numerical superiority. I really wanted to shoot at that destroyer, but fortunately that island was obstructing my view. so I couldn't really get a good shot at him. And this is one of the times where I wish I had advanced firing training on this ship so that I could extend my range out far enough that I could hit these guys right now, because really, as a gunboat, I'm wasting a lot of time here being out of range and not hitting anybody. I could potentially be doing a lot of damage through fires right now. So New Mexico looks like he's about to sail into range. I wasn't paying attention at the time to what was going on over here on the other side of B, over by the A cap. If I had been, I probably would have turned my attention to that. But we do start a fire on that New Mexico, and there's another New Mexico over here that is backing up. See if we can get a fire on him. And the other New Mexico has actually already put my fire out, surprisingly. I didn't notice it at the time, but yeah, he has put it out and is retreating, so I can't even fire at him now if I wanted to. And I'm unfortunately driving right out of my range. And going back and looking at this replay, I really should have gone over to A and helped out, but I didn't. And I think it actually is going to end up costing me the game in the end. But I really wanted to secure the C point and then move on, but that unfortunately didn't happen. And besides the huge turning circle on the Kiev, I felt like this is another weak spot of this ship. It seems like every time I get hit with armor piercing or really high explosive in general, like the Kiev takes a lot of damage. It seems like a very soft ship. It absorbs damage very easily. You know, those are just my impressions, but it is a very fast ship. You can dodge a lot of fire. Unfortunately, that New Mexico landed a really good shot on me and took, you know, about half my health off. Granted, this is an unupgraded Kiev, so when you do get the hull upgrade for it, it gives you more health, and it also has the added benefit of giving you a better rudder shift, so you can turn a little bit quicker. Now, I'm in a bad spot here because I'm in C in the middle of all these ships. They're on the south side of these islands, and there's not a whole lot I can do to get as far as maneuvering in here, so I go ahead and pop my smoke, and I'm trying to light this New Mexico on fire. And we actually do get a fire on him, surprisingly. Now, he should burn for a while. I think this was the same guy that I had lit 2 fires on earlier that he had put out. And still just firing away at him. And we get a second fire. And man, I actually gotta say, I really love the sound of these guns way more than the Omnivoy's guns or the Gnevenes before it. As far as gun sound go, it's kind of taken aback. I was a little bit blown away by the sound of these things when I first shot the guns on this ship. So it's fair to say that I like it. We got the damage counter still going up there. It was doing fire damage at New Mexico. Unfortunately, the Benson or the Pensacola, I don't know who, one of those guys got the kill on that New Mexico. Now, luckily for me, this Tago does not have his guns facing this way, because I was in a very bad spot. Once again, I'm stuck in a position where I can't maneuver, and I really wanted to be firing AP here. For whatever reason, I felt like he was going to turn in because I started firing at him, and he just didn't. So I swapped back to AP, and I hit my engine boost because I want to get the heck off this island as quickly as possible. And I should have been using this time to fire on this guy. And that's when he turns in a little bit, so I swapped back over to HE. I was just having all kinds of trouble here. deciding what I wanted to use to shoot this guy. And this is actually the perfect opportunity for AP, and that's when I switch back over. And that's when he starts turning the opposite direction, so I don't know, I felt like I wasted a lot of time. I could have been putting in some damage on this guy, which really sucks, but you know, it is what it is. I don't always play perfectly, but when I do, my team loses the game for me. That was basically the punchline of this particular day's worth of battles. Played 7 or 8 battles and I lost 6 of them. It was a bad day for team play. Majority of those games were actually lost by people in Tirpitzes trying to sit in the back of the team and snipe instead of supporting. So it is what it is. Now, I'm sandwiched smack dab in between the enemy team here. He's got 2 guys down south. I got the rest of these guys over here, and that's when I spot an enemy Sims. Now, I knew there had to be a destroyer around here somewhere, which is why I started turning around, because I was spotted and I hadn't been firing. So this is basically what I've been waiting for. And this is a really dumb move on my part. I end up grounding, and this is just really embarrassing. Thought I was going to make that turn. Unfortunately, I did not. And light a fire, get some incapacitations. Unfortunately, there is a fire on me now, and my engine's knocked out, so I'm not going to be moving very fast. But luckily, I have last stand on this captain, so I'll still be able to get going. I use a repair there since he's done shooting at me, and there's no chance of me getting another fire lit on me. So, kill the Sims. Unfortunately for me, I don't have very much health now, but I'm not going to waste this particular chance to get some damage in on these guys. Now, this friendly that was spotting all these guys actually went behind an island, but he popped back out, and I don't know what it is about the AP on the Kiev. It seems like the Ognivoy's AP was a little bit stronger. I had better times actually penetrating their citadel, and as soon as I say that, of course I get 2 citadel penetrations, but and we actually pick up Confederate there. But I was trying to land a lot of AP damage on this guy, and it just wasn't working out for me, so still pounding away on him, and I feel pretty good about killing him. Pensacola has very thin armor. I think it was classified as a light cruiser or scout cruiser or something. But in this game, the Pensacola is a very tough ship to play, and I am taking advantage of that. So we get a fire on him, and I'm pretty sure he's going to die at this point. Oh, and the last salvo was enough to take him out. So basically took that Pensacola from almost full health down to none. So the guns on this ship are very potent, especially to cruisers that are broadside on. The 130mm guns on all the Russian ships really, with their armor piercing, is very potent when you get to 8 kilometers or less. Now, at this point, it's not looking too good. We're down by 1 ship. They still have a destroyer, a cruiser, and 2 battleships, and now it's even worse because we just lost our cruiser. So I'm trying to get this guy lit on fire. I'm not having much luck there with that. I unfortunately sailed behind the island. Hindsight being 2020, I should have sailed in front of it and gotten in a B and capped it, but I just didn't do it. I was at heat of the moment thing. I made a bad decision. I realized it after I went around the back side of the island, so I used my engine boost to try and get around it as quick as I can. Because our Bismarck is not kiting this Gneisenau away, which is what he should be doing. When you're in a position like this, down ships, you really have to do everything you can to keep your ship alive. And this guy is just kind of, he's really pushing into the enemy aggressively, which I don't recommend doing when you're down ships. At this point, we had to kind of make a play. Didn't really have too much of a choice. And he looks like he's going about 3/4 speed, and that's, as soon as I shoot I realize, yeah, he's slowing way down to smoke up, which kind of sucked. But I drop off of the detectability, and fortunately for me, this Gneisenau is still spotted because our battleship over there has a spotter plane up, so the smoke screen did literally nothing for this enemy battleship, and I'm still trying to get a fire lit on him, shooting at where I think he's probably going to be. Landed some shots on him. Unfortunately for us, there is a New Mexico down there that is also firing at this Bismarck. And I'm trying to Cat B while that destroyer sits in his smoke screen over there. And this guy is very low. All it's going to take is some armor piercing, and there it is, from that Bismarck, and he is going to be done. So, unfortunately for us, though, he turns broadside on to do that, so he takes a return salvo from the Gneisenau and takes a fair chunk of damage, and then the shots from the Tash cannon, that smoke over there, caught him on fire, and that was enough to do him in. So he did something that you never want to do. Let's go broadside to any enemy battleships. So I am the last ship on our team, and I know this Tashkent's going to be over here. I don't know if he's going to be expecting me or not. We'll see. And that's when I get detected, so I know he's over here. Now, the only thing that I could have done, being at such a health deficit right here, was to turn out and kite him, but unfortunately for me, this guy's not a terrible shot, and I'm doing pretty good damage to him, and this is going to be the game for me right here, unfortunately. Alright, moving on the results here. We ended up doing 74,000 damage. We ended up getting the Confederate medal, and we ended up getting 254 main battery hits. Got 10 fires, a base capture, and an assisted and a capture. And then we ended up with 1,451 base XP and 2 kills on the top of the team there. Not all that surprising. A lot of our team didn't really do a whole lot there other than die, really. And then we got you know, a little bit of damage on everybody. We did 33,000 with our high explosive, 24,000 with the armor piercing, and then 16,000 damage with fires. And then we actually ended up making 129,000 credits, and not too bad of a haul, really. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.